Are there plans for you to relocate your daughter and wife to be with you in UK?
That is something that we have been talking about. Previously, I was not agreeable to the idea. It never crossed my mind at all, especially with the fact that the five were detained. Now that the five have been reunited with their family, I think it is only fair that my wife and kid now joins me in England. But I'm still hopeful, that the Malaysian government would change their mind and return my passport and allow me back.
So in the worst case scenario, we are looking at you taking your family to be with you rather than you coming back to Malaysia.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario. Yeah.
Okay. If that happens, what's going to happen to Hindraf then? How is it going to move forward? Are you still going to control it from wherever you are, or do you have new set of leaders who can actually carry on the work in Malaysia?
I would prefer that somebody in Malaysia take over. I've been talking to a number of them, and I've been suggesting that they take over. But I will still continue doing the work. I would rather somebody take over the Hindraf work for me, and I would rather concentrate to do the international lobby. Especially, I've not covered European Parliament yet, and also the United States and Australia. I would prefer to continue with those work, and I would also prefer to continue with my civil suit.
Okay. Well, talking about the civil suit, before going to the civil suit, when you talk about Hindraf work, what do you mean by Hindraf work? What is it that Hindraf actually wants to do? What is it that Hindraf wants to achieve in Malaysia?
In Malaysia?
In Malaysia.
In Malaysia, we are working to create awareness among the people on the true plight of the Malaysian Indians. Everybody, initially it was difficult for Malaysians to accept the fact that Indians were marginalized. Eventually, it was accepted. After November 25th, I think everybody accepted the fact. Everybody agreed that yes, the Indians in Malaysia are marginalized. But to what extent, people do not know. They can't imagine, especially people belonging to the Chinese and Malay community, can't imagine to what extent is the marginalization. So we are going out, explaining to people, or rather taking up issues affecting the Indians, and also putting it in the right perspective with regards to violations of human rights and so forth.
Do you see any changes in that since maybe 2007, November 2007, March 2008, and then now here we are September 2009? Has there been a progressive change in the mindset of people in recognizing the fact that Indians are marginalized? And for the marginalized community, has there been a difference in their marginalization? Are more things being done to help them?
I think there's not much improvements from the Barisan Nationalist government. On their side, they are still interested in giving piecemeal deals to the Indians. We do not believe in piecemeal deals. We believe in a permanent solution to the whole problem. And likewise, the five Pakatan, now 4 states, have not really addressed the issues. We know they have not taken over the federal government. We are aware of the fact. But matters that can be resolved within the state, matters that are within the powers of the chief ministers and Mantri Besars, are not attended to. When it comes to Indian issues, we are sidelined by even these states.
Another person we would like to talk about now, Indran, who used to be a chief coordinator for Hindraf in Malaysia. But then there seemed to be a fallout with Indran, maybe middle of this year. And then he has gone on to form his own political party, Makkal Shakti Party. Can you tell us what actually happened in Indran? Is he still part of Hindraf? Or if Makkal Shakti Party is still part of Hindraf, or it's totally an independent party, is there a link within you two?
No, Indran is no longer with Hindraf, and his Makkal Shakti Party is not part of Hindraf. Yes, he was a great asset to us. He helped us. He was sort of my main man on the ground during post December 13th. But eventually he had intentions of forming a political party. He did speak to me about it.
He did?
He suggested that I should form a political party, but I was not keen. I said, no, I'm not keen, but I will not get involved in it. And I suppose during that period, he had his own people with him, and he was convinced on the need of a political party, so he formed a political party. So when he formed, yes, he did speak to me about it prior to that. So when he formed the political party, I have no choice but to let him go. So he's on his own.
So will Hindraf work with Makkal Shakti Party, or?
I think he is aligned to the Barisan National parties. That's what I was told. He has not openly said, but it looks like he's aligned to the Barisan National parties. If that's the case, we will not work with him.
There's this accusation that Hindraf is only concentrating on Indians and Hindu rights. There are also questions that why can't you help the other marginalized part of society in Malaysia? Would you like to comment on that?
Hindraf was born because of the M Murthy case. I think many people know about that. At that point of time, we couldn't get the other religious bodies from other faiths to join us, so we went ahead. And we ended up, we started from M Murthy. It was an accident. Hindraf's struggle, I think, was an accident. We meant to do something else, and at the end of the day, we ended up doing something else. And today, we have more or less taken up all human rights issues affecting the Malaysian Indians, and I don't regret that. And now there is an urge by certain quarters that we should take up matters affecting all races. Yes, we are keen, but we don't have the capacity. We are very limited. We are not even a registered organization. We are banned by the Malaysian government, and we need the support from. When it comes to the Indian issues, I know the issues. I'm familiar with the issues. I've done a lot of research. But if other communities are marginalized, and then I think other communities have to come in, or somebody else have to take the lead, and we will join them.
What do you think will Hindraf's role be for the next general election? What sort of role do you anticipate Hindraf to play?
Well, I've said we will remain apolitical. I do not wish to, get Hindraf involved in any political roles. In the last general elections, I had personally asked the Indian voters to vote for the opposition en bloc, including P Kabilan. It doesn't matter who stands. All right. Now I'm being faced with the questions by the people. And it looks they are asking me that they're questioning me now that what has the Pakatan done? I don't have answers for them. So I don't think I will mobilize thousands of the Hindraf supporters to go on the ground in the next elections unless and until the Pakatan government comes up with a plan or calls us or unless they call us for a dialogue and require our assistance, we will not go out of our way to assist them in the next general elections.
Do you see Hindraf organizing another mammoth rally like what happened in November 2007 to fight for its cause?
No, I don't see in the near future. In fact, the November 25th rally was, as I said, by accident. It was never intended that way. I didn't know that many people were going to come. It was the people's spontaneous reaction. That's why we call it Makkal Shakti. People's power. And I think the time will come for the people to rise again. When it will happen, I do not know. But they will come again. If this government or the alternative government, if they take over the country, do not do the necessary changes, and then if there is uprising of the people, we can't stop that.
Okay.